the order of business this evening is, of course, it's about the Hong Kong investment visa, but I'm going to basically address the issue about who does have a visa problem if you've started your own business, you're in the process of starting your own business. Most people in Hong Kong that go on to get an investment visa start out as a visitor, or they have an employment visa sponsored by an employer and they're adjusting their status from sponsored employment through to business investment. But we'll just go through the various immigration stati that exist in Hong Kong to ask the question if you've actually got the type of problem that requires you to pay close attention to what I'm talking about this evening. We'll look in detail at the visitor visa because, as I mentioned, effectively the vast majority of people who go on to get a business investment visa start out with the visitor status, and there's a great deal of confusion as to what is permitted activity as a visitor and what is not permitted activity if you've got that status and you're in the throes of starting your own business. We'll look at the conditions of the investment visa, the approvability test for that visa, and you'll learn effectively what you need to do to pass that test. And I'll leave you with a message about halfway through that I hope you'll conclude for yourself, and that is that if you're going to go and apply for this visa effectively, the kind of entrepreneurial spirit that you bring to your venture, if you bring that to your application for an investment visa, then in my experience you will be successful. I always find it amazing that people grasp the nettle to become an entrepreneur in Hong Kong and put their money on the line and are ready to go for it, but then when it comes to actually doing what's required to get the permissions from the immigration department to engage in that activity, there's a certain amount of reticence and people don't want to spend money on it, and they're just a little bit concerned about the decisions that they're making and whether it's good for the business where it might not be actually great for a visa application. But as I say, the message that I'm going to leave you with is this idea that if you've had your entrepreneurial seizure, you're made of the right stuff if you apply the same kind of psychology towards the immigration challenge that you've got to get the visa status that you're looking for. So we'll look in detail at the challenge and whether or not you can get the visa, and because if you get an investment visa and you're here with your loved ones, there's always the question about what kind of immigration status the people that you love and care for will be securing on the back of your application. So we'll look at that. And then I'll take you discreetly through each of the resources that I've made available to everybody, free on our website, and explain to you how you make those work in the context of your own application, so that at the end of the exercise you should be able to get it all done completely free of charge. Okay. So, the anchor to this talk is found on the homepage of HongKongVisaGiza.com. It's this post called 10 must-have resources for any Hong Kong investment visa application. And at the end of the talk, I'll take you through those resources, but bearing in mind that everything I have to say today is going to talk about the investment visa from 39,000 feet, and then as you learn more and more about it, you'll be able to discern exactly what's required down at the micro level to be successful in making an application.